I watched the movie Oppenheimer last night, and in the movie there was a good quote that I wanted to expand on, and it was that sometimes you lift the stone without being ready for the snake on the other side, and that's revealed on the other side of the stone. And I think this can correlate a lot. This is a piece of wisdom that can correlate a lot with a lot of different kinds of things. But in this video today, I want to specifically talk about why the world doesn't want you to know about retention and semen retention and no FAP and not participating in PMO. I used to believe that I had to play with myself at least once or twice a week just because I was a man and I had needs and desires, and I even heard Joe Rogan talk about on his podcast that, like, if you don't bust for like a month, it'll be like getting a warehouse full with all these different kinds of boxes, and soon you're going to have to let go of some boxes in order to get new ones in. And that's just all complete BS. And I love Joe Rogan. Don't get me wrong. I like Joe Rogan. And I just thought that in retrospect, I remember thinking about that. And I thought that was another reason to justify why I didn't need to I didn't need to participate in this semen retention or no FAP, whatever. But now as the time has grown, more, I would say, the beatitudes of life have revealed to me that celibacy and semen retention are far more beneficial and far more powerful than we'd like to give it credit for. And the reason that is because promiscuity has ridden our society with consequences that we're not even sure or we're not even aware of at the time. It's almost like we can see the consequences before our eyes, and yet nobody really wants to accept it. Nobody really wants to acknowledge what's actually going on. And many of these people out here in the world, they don't want you to listen to messages like this where you can hear some kind of encouragement about being non-sexually promiscuous and being self-controlled, not only just with your lust, but also in other avenues of your life. Many people in the world don't want you to call them out for their promiscuity as well, or their sins. And what we're actually trying to do when we do call other people out or we hold other people accountable, it's that we are showing them that we actually care about the future generations, and we actually care about our own generation and where we're heading and why we're going the way that we're going. We're straight shooters, and we speak with clarity. And it's hilarious because sometimes when you speak with such clarity, people all of a sudden think that, like, you have this kind of, I would say, antagonizing view toward them because you're just not bullshitting. Isn't that crazy? So a lot of the people in the world are so used to lies that when somebody actually finally speaks the truth, it astounds them. They're not used to it. They don't know exactly how to handle it. And this is a common theme in many different kinds of people that I've met, where, like, even the other day, there was this person that, like, I could tell this person's was just bothered by just my presence. And in my prayers recently, I've been asking God to remove or be unwelcoming to any kind of demonic or Jezebel spirit, and to harness that kind of power in my presence, where just being in my presence, a demon or a Jezebel can sense that they are not welcomed. And so, well, what exactly does that do? My goal here in prayer is to ensure that I have more of a discerning of spirits when I'm out and about. And the other day, there was this man that I've seen out and about a few times around the gym and whatever, and he came by me at the gym, and we had made eye contact and nod our heads towards each other, and then he came by and he was just, "Merry Christmas," like super angry. And I was just astounded with this kind of feedback because we had just done a respectful nod, and I could just tell based off of that interaction that something in him was angry. Something about it was angry. And given the fact that it is nearly Christmas now, and it's going to be the holiday season, wrapping up the year here, I really don't like this time of year. People are just weird. Like, people are just very strange this time of year. From October to December, it's just, I swear it's just Satan's favorite holidays all combined. I genuinely do not believe that we should celebrate Christmas. And if somebody does say Merry Christmas to me, I just say praise Jesus now. Or maybe even like, Jesus bless you, something like that, you could say. I actually haven't said that, but that's something that you could say. I have said praise Jesus, though. And the reason I don't celebrate Christmas is because it is very worldly. What are the fruits of Christmas? It's commercialized. It's not something that is biblical. And I'm not saying that you have to follow everything in the Bible to a T, no matter what. But I'm saying that if the Bible is a foundation, a spiritual foundation for all of us to live in a spiritual life, then how are we going to move a certain way in order to better adapt to and better live in a society that we want to see prosper? Christmas is not about a season of prosperity. Like, what do you do around the holidays? Most of the time, people say that they, get drunk or eat a whole lot, and you argue with family. Like, I even heard somebody else joke the other day. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna stay home. It's gonna be pretty chill. And they were like, oh well. The person they were talking to said, oh well, at least you're not gonna have any kind of weird conversations. And it's like, y'all are just stuck in the world. Y'all are just stuck in your addictions and your vices, and semen retention just purifies everything for you. It's amazing how, so I've been on semen retention since May of 2022. So it's been over a year and a half, and it's been just fantastic. Everything has been purified and is still continuing to be purified. And the blessings that have come have been so great, and I'm able to see through all of this worldly stuff. Like, you're able to see through it, and you genuinely do have a closer connection to God when you're on semen retention. And this is exactly why the world doesn't want you to know about semen retention. It's because you can grow closer to God. The world is run by Satan, so of course Satan's not going to want you to know about these kinds of things. Satan's not going to want you to understand that there's a deeper meaning behind not playing with yourself. It's hilarious because you start to have a more quality life, and the people that are still stuck in the world see that and they don't understand. Like, they know something's different about you, but they don't really understand how different you are and why you are so different. I've had people tell me that my skin is glowing. I've had people tell me that they literally look at me and they can see a spirit. It's not just that they see a flesh, they see a spirit. And I've had people tell me that my whole skin has changed. It's like there's a certain kind of delicacy to the skin. Compliments that I've never ever gotten before semen retention. And even the look in your eyes, you're going to have a certain kind of sense of life that wasn't necessarily there before. And this is all good things, and these are all good things that we don't really even know about. But there's going to be so many other side effects of semen retention that you will not understand until you actually just go through it. And there are going to be the naysayers. They're going to be, the depleted coomers that talk about how it's not real, or it's fake, or it's not actually healthy for you. It's actually like you should continue to play with yourself because, well, that way you're not going to get testosterone, like you're not going to get ball cancer. Like, I can't believe I used to believe that. Like I did. I used to believe that because everybody else believed it. But here I am, over a year and a half later, in the best shape financially, spiritually, emotionally, and physically I've ever been. And I've got something to show for it. I've gathered more resources. I've accumulated more resources. I've been more myself than ever. And that's another thing that the world doesn't want. The world doesn't want you to be who you are. They want you to hide like the rest of everybody else. There's a line in Scarface that says, like, when he's talking about the bad guy, right? And he's like, it's like, yep, you guys need the bad guy. You guys need me. Because that way you can just point to someone. All you guys know how to do is just hide. And that's exactly what these people know how to do in the world. And David Goggins has talked about this too. He says, all these people have done is they've hidden their fucked up world better than you have. And that's 100% true. It's 100% true. I was on a run earlier today, and I was thinking about this, and as I was running, I was just thinking to myself, this is the difference between me and all you guys. I don't have to hide. I don't have to hide. And I was just imagining all of the people in the world, really, that are just in the world. They're not spiritual. They're not actually following Jesus. They are just stuck. They're just stuck. And that gave me motivation because I just know that I can continue to be myself. When you're on semen retention, you're going to be different. Why? Because you're going to harness your being to the fullest degree. And this goes for women too that are celibate. It's going to be the same kind of thing. They are going to participate in a life that brings them a lot greater satisfaction because it comes from inner peace. And that's exactly what the world doesn't want you to have, is inner peace. They want you to stay depressed. They want you to stay anxious. They want you to feel as though you cannot control your life. You're not capable of controlling your destiny. And that's a bunch of BS. So with that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful. And until next time, peace be with you.